G'day, we're David and Paula. Like many people, we've been working hard for many years and we're too young to retire, but we've decided to take a gap year from work. We've bought a new van and we're doing a lap right around Australia. Boulia is another one of these shires that look after people in RVs just to encourage them in. So we had a good camp, didn't we, at the 3 mile camp out behind the Boulia races. We were pretty much there by ourselves. And here there's also parking near the centre of the town for RVs where you can fill up with your water, which is all allowed. It's specifically for RVs. Hey, g'day.
G'day.
So we've just left Boulia. Great camp at 3 mile campground.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and I've got to say the council have done a really good job in terms of being RV friendly. There, you know, you get the water down the centre of the main street where there's some parking for your grocery stores. Got the basics. Good little information centre. We went and had a look at the Min experience. I don't know, I'm of two minds about the whole thing, but gee, they've spent a lot of money on it, and they've certainly executed it well. So if you want to go and sort of see a bit of it's not an interactive display, it's all animatronics in there, with people sort of telling the story of the Min and the different theories about it all.
Hello! Here's a thirsty looking bunch. The evening was cold enough to freeze the balls of a billiard table.
The Min lights. Everyone will tell you there's some spooky spirit.
Yeah, anyway, I mean, that was a bit of fun in the morning. And it's now 37 degrees and climbing. And we're on the Donahue Highway, which turns into the Plenty Highway. And our next stop will be Tobermorey Station, right on the Northern Territory border. And we think it's sealed all the way through to Tobermorey and then turns gravel after that. So we've got a few hours drive today. And then tonight, Tobermorey Station.
Let's go.
This is just absolutely insane.
A winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic.
We've got about just a bit over 100 kilometres to go. And we've hit gravel road again, so I don't know if it starts sealed again. But so we're just of two minds as to whether we stop and air down, or whether we just sort of press through if it's going to be sealed again. A couple of ruts along the way. The gravel road isn't too bad, I might add. It's not particularly corrugated, just a bit rocky. Oh, we'll see how we go, eh?
Yeah.
It's been very green, not just in the sort of where the creek crossings are, even though the creeks are dry. Just a lot of grass, a lot of green in through this area, and we're the end of September. So normally there wouldn't be any water in the Burke River, or a lot of these rivers would be dry, and everything would be sort of quite brown, but it just goes to show just how big that wet was last year, and then that top-up wet that we got caught up in. So everything is just remarkably grassed and green or Central Australia. It's not at all what I expected, even though I knew that there'd been a fair bit of rain this year. It's still quite remarkable, and that probably also explains why we're seeing a lot of wildlife near the roads as well. Anyway, we've just come back onto another sealed section, so it was okay the other road. Anyway, we're about to hit a bypass.
Life is a winding road. No telling.
I think I'd rather be on the new road.
Driving through days and
It won't be too long before it's sealed by the look of it.
won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind. I will
Back to
keep
the
on
Northern
holding
Territory. Oh, it doesn't even feel like we've been away, does it? Are we going to get a selfie in front of the sign, or is it too hot? How cool is this? About 38 degrees cool. Hey?
A little bit warm, isn't it?
You reckon that's what it is? No, it's not. That's the actual.
Turn right.
Tobermorey Station. This is as far as we want to go today. Okay.
G'day. It's a little bit warm.
38 degrees there, isn't it?
Yes. Funny name. Tobermorey. Morey. And we're back in the Northern Territory.
After dinner? Paula doesn't think that's funny. Yes, that's not too bad here at Tobermorey.
No.
They've got like a little campground,
Green grass.
got nice and green. It was hot, and Paula thought that the chook looked a bit stressed from the heat, so it probably was. So she went and got it a drink.
Oh, drink away now.
The chook got a drink before David did.
I did not. Didn't feel that.
No, it's just the right distance. We did had nut, and it was clearly hot outside, and this is quite pleasant here. Yeah, it's warm, but it's not unbearable, and we've got a bit of shade. Flush loo, shower. So we like our free camping, but we had a good free camp last night and the night before. We've had a few in over the last week. Don't mind the station stays and the roadhouse stays for these transit stops.
Here's Dave. He's airing down. We're about to go on the Plenty Highway. Say hi, Dave.
Are you stalking me with the camera?
And they have showers and toilets, which is really good. And they're very clean, so that's really good. Fire pits. There's other fire pits scattered throughout the actual camping areas. Nice and green areas. They've got fuel, which we're going to go get in a minute. Little camp kitchen. And a nice little playground for little kiddlywinks.
After 1 kilometer, turn right onto Plenty Highway.
Oh, hey, g'day.
G'day, g'day.
So we've just left Tobermorey Station and we're heading for Jer-voyce. And we've got just mixed reports about what the road is like and how long it's going to be and all those sorts of things. So, you know, some people sort of say 5 hours, and others say longer, and others say shorter. So we'll find out how it is. So this is reported to be the worst section of the Plenty Highway. So we'll see.
Tobermorey was a good stop, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good stop. Yeah, so, nice and grassy, birds around, good facilities.
Yep.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good stop after a reasonably long day, long hot day.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see what this brings.
Yep. Let's see.
It says camping area, so I don't know if there's a rest area right there. So this is a highway. It's been pretty rough, narrowed off. And there's a section here that Google Maps wanted to deviate via one of the other station roads, so I don't know if they know that nobody else knows, but it clearly wasn't a great piece of road. Certainly, I mean, like, fine, you just take your time. We've got a little bit to go yet. I don't know, we'll decide either if we push through or if we just stretch our legs. Surely there's a camp area on the Arthur River somewhere along here. I don't know if there's a place we can pull up and just stretch our legs or not. We'll see. So 140 kilometres Plenty Highway time is sort of like, it's like dog years, isn't it? It's you feel twice as weary after half as much time. Anyway, we'll get out, stretch our legs. The first third from Tobermorey to Jervois Station wasn't too bad. Yeah, look, wasn't great, but again, it was fine, aired down, and reasonable sort of 65-70 kilometre average. Which is pretty good compared to some of the roads we've been on, but the second third of it has been reasonably rough going. The surface of the road's broken up a little bit more bull dust, and a lot more stones and stuff.
A lot more stones.
Yeah, it's been a bit rougher, isn't it? All right, let's just have a quick stretch and then we'll keep pressing on. Yeah, so we came into Jervois Station and we're a bit, just a bit early. It's warm and the camping area here is a bit exposed, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. It'd be fine if you're coming in late in the day and those sorts of things, and there's another little rest area across the road, but they sort of say the road now to here to Gemtree has been graded and a lot more sealed, so we might try and press through. We think that this is a 30 kilometre section, don't we?
Yep.
Yeah. And then we think that there's another 30 kilometres of gravel, and then after that it's sealed again all the way through to Gemtree, and then from Gemtree through to Alice Springs. So pretty much, with the exception of a couple of sections of gravel, it's sealed from Jervois Station through to Alice Springs. The horrible section now is Jervois to Tobermorey.
Yep.
Yeah, and even that is sort of okay. Yeah, the third closest to Tobermorey, not too bad at all. Horrible section in the centre, and then not quite so horrible from that bit through to Jervois. We do get asked if we're going to do another full review of the van, and no, we're not. All right, so we've thought about this. If you have a look at our channel, we've done some initial impressions. So Shakeout, we did an initial impression after a few months, and then we did another one a little bit later. Like, we've loved the van, right? The van has been really good. It's taken us to some very remote places. We've used it on-road, off-road. We've used it in van parks, free parks, national parks, and it's been great. And I've covered off on the amount of solar we've got, which has been good. Yes, we'd like an extra panel. Okay, we would have liked one extra panel. We've got 720. An extra panel would be even better. 400 amp hours battery. I know a lot of people say you need more. We think that's fine. Composite, fantastic. All right, I'll talk about something in the cupboards in a second. I don't see a purpose in doing a full van review. What I'll do, overview, post some of the hard stuff we've done, some minor breakages and issues, and I'll very quickly show some of the kit that I think's been invaluable. And the best thing I can think of is just ask the questions or make the comments, and we can add them into the comments. But I think that's a more useful thing to do than to do a full review of a van that you can no longer buy. So let me just go around and talk about the hard road stuff, and you can get a bit of a feel for how the van has dealt with all that. First thing I want to point out is that if you're going to do heavy off-road, some of these harder roads, the Gibb River Road, the Morini Loop, the Cape York, a horrendous section of the Savannah Way between Boulia and Hell's Gate. You're going to do some of those, right? And there are others, right? There are others. If you're going to take your van to those sorts of places, right, it's going to be reasonably hard on the gear. So first of all, you do actually need a van that can cope with it. Ours can, particularly the chassis and all of those sorts of things. But even then, my view is there's some extra things that you need to do to protect your van. This piece of kit. Right, so that's the extra underbody protection system, and we got that from the Seaman Sheet Metal Works, Wade Seaman, who actually owns his own. Just to put it in perspective, these had branding all across the front. See all that pitting in there, all the branding's been wiped off. That just shows how much that sand, pebble, grit, stone is belting around the underside of your caravan, and that protection system has helped protect the running gear in there and the suspension. So as good as that Cruise Master suspension is, it's just that extra bit of protection. The other piece of invaluable kit, the Stone Stomper. so we've had no problems, none of those notorious issues of stones hitting the back of cars, breaking windscreen. We've loved it. It's been fantastic. It wasn't an ideal fit for the Defender because of how low the number plates and other things are, so we had to do a little bit of minor modification. Protects things from bouncing up, hitting your rear windscreen, because even with these on, stones can hit that spring off and hit your windscreen. The other thing is, because of the wear and tear, those straps take a bit of a beating, and so the centre one was just about worn out, was just about to die. So I sent an email off to the guys at Stone Stopper and said, guys, how can I buy another one of those? They sent it out, right? And not only have they sent it out, but they've actually modified it slightly to provide a bit of extra protection around it. These guys stand by the product. Fantastic product. I'm not sure whether you can see it, but on narrow tracks and things, you do just get those scratches along, and so we weren't able to get any PPF for it, but if you can get a PPF product for your windows, I'd do it. We can buff some of that out. There are only little light scratches in most of the places, but that just happens. It's just like if you're just going to some of the places, like when we went into Lambert Centre, you just collect some trees into some places just a little bit tighter than you'd like. Okay, so we lost one of the screws out of, we actually lost two of the screws out of our jerry can holders. So again, once we realised that they were loosening off, we went around tightening them, and we do use Loctite when we can, and we found one screw. It ended up in the tyre, so we had a puncture, which is regrettable. Safety Dave TPMS, been fantastic, and does work. It helps us monitor the tyre pressures, and when we did have the puncture caused by the screw off the jerry can holder, we actually picked that up because we jumped in the car. We weren't actually towing, fortunately, we were in a campground, and it was beeping and alarming and told us which tyre had gone down, so we actually sort of found that, and we were able to repair it while we were in the campground. Hot dip gow, it's heavy, it's an extra 70 kilograms. That was standard with the base. It's not standard on the Gen 2 caravans at Zone and most others that are Duragal, or they might have some other protection like Raptor coat on them. But we've been into and out of beach areas and other things, and yes, you still wash underneath thoroughly, but again, it's just that extra wear. But it's an extra 70 kilograms, so you know, when you're trying to monitor your weights, that's a bit of a factor. Yeah, the other thing which broke, which wasn't caused by corrugations or anything like that, was the manual trailer jack that Zone had put on the base, and it just was not a particularly good jack, and it gave up the ghost. It just jammed, and we got caught out just off the Gibb River Road, and it was recommended that I go to this blackjack, which Zone had been putting on some of their newer generation vans, and I think that they've put on their own sort of generic version of it on some of their newer vans. And this one is an electric jack, uses the Anderson plug as the power. I tossed up between that and the BOS, and the BOS wasn't immediately available, but as it worked out, I probably could have in the end got the BOS in the same time that it eventually took their blackjack to get to us. And I regret getting the blackjack, so I think the BOS would have been better, would have been able to be used with the drill, which you've got out anyway for the stabiliser legs and those sorts of things. So that's just one of the other breakages. It was just that the original jack just wasn't that good, and as I say, they're using better quality jacks on the Generation 2 vans anyway. But if I had my time over, I wouldn't replace it with a blackjack. I'd have gone for a different type of trailer jack. Yeah, and this has been great as well. It just protects your cables and things from dust. Paula said she was working today. We've mentioned this before, but these catches, they're plastic, right, and they break, right. So you know, love the van, you know, and Zone make a great product, no question about it. But this stuff, right, it's crap, right, and so we've got to get some of those replaced. And these doors, particularly in the corrugations, right, you know, there's a bit of flex that occurs in these, right, and we're forever tightening up the hardware. We'll have to get all this stuff fixed in warranty, and we've got there's no problems. I mean, it'll be done under warranty. But as much as I've done some running repairs on a number of them, and that's worked pretty well, that drawer and the pull-out pantry do tend to be a bit of a problem. So when you're doing big corrugations and the big hard roads, we just use cloth tape. We just use the 100-mile-an-hour tape and go over the joins of the doors just to help take a little bit of extra pressure and stop them swinging open. If they don't swing open, it's fine. But if they do swing open, that's the whole weight of the door flapping around, and you can be a couple of 100 kilometres down the road before you realise. So we've just found for that, the showers and the drawers, it's just better as a preventative. Cloth tape, 100 mile.
Good stuff.
100 mile an hour tape, zip ties, they're Loctite. These things in the water system, it's the accumulator, all right, in the water, and it's supposed to so that you maintain the pressure in them. They leak, right, in this one, particularly if in caravan parks or city water pressure. So we've replaced that one. So talking to a couple of the caravan repairers, they've actually said that in their vans they've just taken them out. So we're just going to bypass that. You'll notice here, it's just a little bit dirty because, well, we had a bit of leakage, but we also had a drawer liner so in there just to stop things from moving around. And we were talking to another zone owner on Cape York, and he said, hey, check the bottom of your cupboard because some of them have reported that the composite laminate has cracked. And we thought, oh, we hadn't noticed that, but we then went and checked, and sure enough, there it was. So again, the zone have been repairing that under warranty, so we weren't quite sure when that one had occurred. Okay, that looks really ugly, 100 mile an hour tape around. It's because the backing, the actual backing unit that fits into that wall that you then screw the faceplate onto, that's quite flimsy, and it just cracked in one particular corner, and that actually meant that the whole fascia was wobbling around, and we just didn't want that to do more damage. So that's why we've got the ugly fix on the front. Yeah, and we've also had to do some running repairs on the sliding door from the corrugations down off the track. Repaired that again a couple of times with Loctite and had to refix the pelmet. That'll have to be looked at as well. As for the other things, while we've been running around, mostly just the screws and things that you've got to tighten up. Hey, g'day. So as I was editing, I sort of realised that when you're doing a video which is just concentrating on just a couple of breakages, and keep in mind that nothing structural in there at all, they're all quite repairable things, and yeah, from some pretty heavy duty use, but when the video is concentrating on that, it can look quite negative. And I just want to reiterate, we love this van. I mean, it's been absolutely fantastic. You can't get the base anymore, and you know, for better for worse, Zone have moved on to a new generation. I think there's some better things about the new generation. I think there's some things which aren't as good as the base, but in any case, this van has taken us to a whole heap of places that we've wanted to be, and structurally it's been fantastic, and we really have put it through the ringer. So I just want you to keep that in mind when you're looking at those breakages. People wanted a van update. We've always tried to be very honest with what we present. We're not selling to anybody. We're not ambassadors. We're not influencers. And as you know, 100% of our ad revenue goes to charity. So we try to show it as it is, but we don't want this to appear negative, because the product has actually been absolutely fantastic for us. And I won't include the car review or update in this one. I wasn't that happy with it as I was editing it up, but it just got too long. So I'll fix that up and we'll post that separately. So now back to the big lap and the completion of the Plenty Highway, and what we thought about the Plenty Highway. We're at Gemtree, the Jervois, what do they call it, the Caravan and Wilderness Park or something. It's a bit basic in here, but yeah. after a long day yesterday, we were pretty glad to pull up, weren't we? And,
We were actually.
And there's hardly anybody here, and we're generally sort of happy to be either tucked out in the bush or unpowered or something like that. But we treated ourselves to power this time. We got power and water. Water doesn't taste the best. It's bore water, but it is safe. So we've just decided that it's a good day to catch up on some editing for me, and Paula's doing a little bit of washing and those sorts of things, and
Domestic chores.
And we've sort of been going pretty steadily since Undara, haven't we?
Yeah.
So we thought it wouldn't hurt to pull up for a couple of nights in the same spot and just catch up on a few things. Anyway, I won't keep talking here because we're going past the generator, which I'm sure will crowd things out. But we're going to treat ourselves to a bit of a takeaway lunch, aren't we? Yeah.
We are at Gemtree. Grounds here at Gem. Pretty basic. There is water and power. And there are birds everywhere. They are beautiful too. And this is the historical building. It's a beautiful blue day, as you can see.
That's the end of the Plenty Highway. Probably 3.5 days, but we stopped. So it's really an easy 3-day trip, 2.5-day trip, really, in its current condition, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. I think, as we've said before, at the moment, for us, in the conditions it's at and the improvements are being made, it's not really as adventurous a drive as perhaps it once was, or its reputation. So. But anyway, so we're on the Stuart Highway again. So we're on the Stuart Highway probably about a month and a half ago, further up north. And now we've rejoined it in the centre, heading down to Alice Springs, and after that, East McDonnell Ranges and West McDonnell Ranges. So looking forward to all that.
Yep.
All right, we'll go in, top up with some fuel, top up with some groceries and stuff at Alice Springs, and then head bush again.
Yep.
All good.
See you later.
Cheers. Bye. Absolutely, gobsmackingly, stunningly beautiful. I could just never cease to amaze me. And again, thanks for joining us. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember, 100% of our YouTube advertising revenue goes to charity.